Hey guys, welcome to the channel. I'm Don, this is Rockin' the Country. I've got potentially a fun one here, I'm not sure, but MontaukEd made a gift to the channel for me to do the Statler Brothers song, The Class of 57. I don't know the song with a title like that. I don't know, like, it's just about Chevys, or, 57 Chevy or something. I don't know what it could be anything. But Ed wanted me to give a shout out to Colton McGrath 585 for planting the seed for Ed's request for this song. So Colton, you've been shouted out by none other than the MontaukEd, and that is a very special thing indeed. So let's get into this thing, find out what the Statlers are singing about in this one, shall we? Oh, now put these on. All right, here we go. Up-tempo.
Tommy's selling used cars, Nancy's fixing hair, Harvey runs a grocery store and Margaret doesn't care. Jerry drives a truck for Sears and Charlotte's on the make, and Paul sells life insurance and part-time real estate.
All right, how far beyond the class of 57 is this song going to be set? That's my immediate thought. Is this the 5-year high school reunion, or is this the 25-year reunion type of thing? Not necessarily at a reunion, but when it's this, you're like, because who said it? Like, I don't know if it was Mark Twain or somebody said it, like, this, one of the scariest things in life is realizing that you're at the age when your high school classmates are running the country. And you're like, oh, shit.
Helen is a hostess, Frank works at the mill, Janet teaches grade school and probably always will. Bob works for the city and Jackson lab research, and Peggy plays organ at the Presbyterian Church. And the class of 57 had its dreams. We all thought we'd change the world with our great works and deeds.
Yeah.
Or maybe we just thought the world would change to fit our needs. The class of 57 had its dreams. Betty runs a trailer park, Jan sells Tupperware, Randy's on an insane ward, Mary's on welfare. Charlie took a job with Ford, Joe took Freddie's wife, Charlotte took a millionaire, and Freddie took his life.
Yeah.
John is big in cattle, Ray is deep in debt. Where Mavis finally wound up is anybody's bet. Linda married Sonny, Brenda married me, and the class of all of us is just part of history.
And the class of 57 had its dreams, but living life day to day is never like it seems. Things get complicated when you get past 18, but the class of 57 had its dreams. Oh, the class of 57 had its dreams.
That is one of the best songs about life, that captures life, that I've heard. One of the things I might have put in there were 1 or 2 references to people who were doing well, but mostly people were getting the crap kicked out of them by life, or they were just going about life in a mundane way. They weren't internationally known figures and such, but there, of course, each class has its people that go on to do really well, whether it's medicine or whether it's law or business or some other realm. There is a balance. There are people who you're like, oh my God, what happened to that person, and then others maybe they were really quiet in school, so they went unnoticed, but they went on to, be the CEO and have 50,000 employees under them, and they take the corporate jet around the world. You don't know. The dynamic of life continues to play out after the age of 18. So folks go to college and do well. Some go to college and it was a waste of time. Some folks just go straight into the workforce, into construction, and they have a construction company and they're crushing it by the time they're 30. And you don't know. That is the dynamic of life. But this, I love that they depicted this. What was it like? Janet, I remember that name because that happens to be one of my sister's names. Janet was a grade school teacher and probably always will be. And yeah, I mean, when you go into that line of work, you tend to stay in it. Not always. But who was it? Was it Brenda or Betty? Somebody married took a millionaire, something like that. And then someone took his life. You're like, oh, all right. Yeah, but I mean, the different depictions in here are, I know people who basically fit all of them. The one about someone taking the other one's wife, Charlotte or somebody, yeah, that one I don't know about. I don't know anybody who did that in my high school class, but it's one of these things where you have ideas and how life's going to play out. When you're younger, you have this idea that a certain age is old, like when you're 40 or 50. When you're 8, 9, 10, you think all grown-ups are in agreement with each other, in a sense, keeping the kids down or keeping them in line and keeping them behaving properly. And then as you get older, you find out, like, wow, the adults don't like each other the way you thought. Some do, but there's differences among folks. But then you find out, like, you think that like 60 is really old when you're little, and then you hit that age as I have, and you're like, it's not really. I mean, as long as you hold on to your sense of humor and do some exercise, you could stay reasonably in shape or youthful. I did not want to become the guy who was like, oh, the younger generation, oh, the government, oh, this and that, they're all out to screw you and get you. And no, the younger generation, they're this and they're that. I didn't want to be that guy because at the time I was the younger generation. And I'm like, no, we're not what you think. You're just not willing to connect with us. So I decided, if you're going to be someone when you're older, you better start when you're younger, because it's harder to become that when you've got those ingrained habit patterns. They just become harder to break, and you might just lose the desire to break them. It takes energy. I decided when I was younger that I was not going to become that guy, that person. I'm not going to be the complainer. There's stuff I don't agree with, but I can tell you, when I look at the younger generation now, they've got some things so much more on the ball than my generation did. There are improvements that are made. And there's also, to me, there's also additional laziness in the entitlement, generation, if you will. So more people think they're entitled to happiness instead of entitled to the pursuit of it. And there's a balance to be struck, but there are some beautiful things in the younger generations. I see it when I watch other younger reactors. I see the way they process comedy and videos and such. And I'm like, all right, there's some really good things going on there that I didn't even have when I was younger. Perspectives. So, Ed, good call on this one. Colton McGrath, you've been shouted out. I'm going to rate this one. And I mean, it seems like a really simple song. And in some ways it was, but the heart in it and the way it was fleshed out, and just the fact that it hit that sliver of life right on the nose and fleshed out so well, that life goes differently than you may expect. And sometimes you get the break you're looking for, and other times you don't. And you sort of toil away in obscurity. But if you have a family and a wife and husband or whatever, and you're kind of happy with it, hey, you've made it. You're still born in America, the land of opportunity. So what we consider lower rung here is like the top rung in so many other places in the world. So the number that struck me was a 9.5. This one was good stuff. So, MontaukEd, thank you again, my friend. You love doing this, and I appreciate the fact that you do. All right, guys, have a great day. I'll see you on another video. Keep rocking the country.